Welcome to screen printing. To begin, let's take an image, like this one here. First, this image is rastered, which means it has all these disgusting pixels, but in Adobe Illustrator we take it and make it look like this. Perfect, right? Once you've vectored your design, you must then take each and every individual color and print it black on something called film. Now I'm about to show you how to do that. Click print, click setup. You must go to preferences after you've selected plate maker. You go to paper quality, manual feed, and click film. This paper right here, you take it, you gently feed it into the printer. Be careful, sometimes it jams, in which case you don't just fix it like you would any normal paper jam. And then you wait, and it comes out with your design like some sort of black magic. You must repeat this process for each and color that you have. And let's just, take this design and... Hold on a second. What was that? Let's rewind there. Right there. Yep. No. It's all wrong. No registration marks. But if you do have registration marks, you take it into the workshop, roll it up a couple times so it doesn't get, caught in the heater, and you let it roll through. After exposing your film to about 700 degrees of heat, you will then take it to the yellow room to be put on a screen with emulsion. Now, for this project, we're going to be looking for a 110 screen. And found one after looking through a couple, as it's hard to find one that's not being used. This is where we measure it to make sure that it's centered, so that the design is not messed up and crooked when we print it on our shirt. Then, once we find it centered correctly, we then take the tape and we tape it down. After that step, we then take it to the exposer, where we expose it to UV lights. So take a bit. Make sure that you leave one of the hoses out, but you keep one in so that the air is sucked out completely, as we see Kyle Simonis doing here so thoroughly. Close it. Make sure the tape's on correctly. Clamp it down. Press start. And watch as magic happens before your eyes as the air is sucked from the compartment. Once all the air is sucked out, the UV light should come on, exposing the screen. It should look a light fluorescent blue. And then once that is complete, it should be done. To which then you open it up, release the tape so that all the air comes flowing back in, and then you open it and take out your screen. Once you've exposed your screen, you should then take your screen over to the pressurized water sprayer. Make sure you take off the film and keep it somewhere safe in case you messed up. We're then going to place it on its backside first, where we spray that for 10 to 15 seconds. Once that's done, you then flip it to the print side and spray for your design for 20-second increments. Someone appears to have exposed the screen beforehand with a different design, so I'm afraid this screen is messed up, to which we shall now make our own design just for video's sake. As you can see, Ben Todd making two dragons here. Once you've let your design dry, you will then tape the squeegee sides so that the ink does not come pouring out of them when you print, as we see Ben Todd doing here. After you've taped the squeegee side, you can then hold up your screen to the light and look for any pinholes where the ink might go through. This is a quite crucial one for Ben Todd, as it's right in the middle of the design. Take a small piece of tape and just cover that up on the print side so that there's no ink coming through. Then line your darkest color screen up to your practice shirt first. And once you have it lined up, you must then lather on the ink below the design first so that you can squeegee it up to flush. Once done, then flush up. plant your screen on your practice shirt, and it's all about the technique for the stroke here. Now really look at Ben Todd's formation. It's all about the squeeze angle. Only 2 should be needed. Once your first color is done, then take it over to the flash dryer and let it sit under there for about 15 seconds. You know, before it starts smoking. Once you have that done, you then have to line up your second screen. We made a bit of an error here, doing the dark one second. That's okay, as long as you can still see it through the screen. You will tighten it, and then you shall repeat the exact same process besides flash drying it as you have for the first color, with lathering on the ink beforehand and whatnot. Once that's done, your design should be printed correctly, and you can then put it through the dryer at 700 degrees. There's always room for error, considering this is your practice shirt, but it should come out relatively well if you've lined up your registration marks correctly. Now for the hardest part, your final shirt. First, you must tape your registration marks so you don't want any crosshairs or your name showing up on anything real. And then you must just wash your hands. Bowser's very specific about that. Especially you don't want ink on your fresh shirt. Then, you give Bowser your money. He goes, finds you a shirt that you like. Perhaps you've ordered one online. Finds it, it's the correct size, asks you its correct order. And then he gives it to you, of course, for money. Another crucial part of your final is lining up the shirt to make sure the design goes on the center of the chest. Look for the factory folds and make sure it's in the center. Then, you repeat what you've done for your practice shirt. You flush. Hopefully not more than once, as you see Kerry doing here. Place your screen on your shirt and stroke twice again. That 45-degree angle that's so crucial. Then you flash dry your first color. Depending on the darkness of the shirt, more prints might be necessary, as Carrie has done a second one for her tan. And once you've done that with flash drying it, then repeat the same process for your second color. Flush once, press, and stroke twice at that crucial 45-degree angle. One would assume in between your final prints you have lined up the design more correctly if needed. But then once you've stroked, you then flash dry your second color if there is another. Right now we're using Carrie an example, and she's using a 3-color shirt. So we're going to go ahead and flash dry this second color as well. Of course, the piece de resistance, the last color, is coming down with one flush in those crucial 45-degree strokes. And then, of course, take your shirt off and boppity bing, boppity boom, put it through the dryer, and you have yourself a fresh new screen printed shirt that you made yourself. Congrats. The cleaning up process is relatively simple. You take any globs of ink you find and put them possibly back into the paint can or in the trash, depending on the situation. Once you've done that, you spray it and then wipe it down with preferably a cloth and a glove rather than what Kyle Simonis is doing right now. You then take that cloth, throw it in the trash. And those puppy screens in the blue box with chemicals help remove it. Once those puppies are out for 5 minutes, you then spray all the remaining emulsion off. Once the excess emulsion is off, spray it with a little degreaser, scrub it down a bit, throw it back into that sprayer and spray all that stuff out. It needs to be sprayed once it's been degreased. That's a crucial part. Once you've done that, throw it back in one of those containers and you should be good. You've now learned how to screen print a shirt and clean up on your own. Congratulations.